What is up, everybody, NC?
JC and
We are here with the Triple H's of Bad Booker on the worst built WrestleMania that we've ever seen. Like, not even Vince McMahon mailing it in at his most elderliest is as bad as what Triple H did. What Triple H did is he delivered one of the shittiest cards. And when even the nerds online, like the high-ranking members of the IWC, are saying that this is a shit card, terrible build, Triple H is a bad booker, you should have known. We've been putting out this series for quite some time, trying to let you know. But it should have been evident right from the get-go when you look at the fact neither night has sold out. Now, this is as of April 11th. It's now April 13th. And I would venture to say that still no sellouts on either night because nobody fucking cares about this mailed-in piece of shit garbage card. So if you want to see how bad the show is, you want to weigh it out, this is what has been revealed thus far. The show hasn't been even finalized yet. So here's what we got for night one. We got War Raiders versus The New Day. Why would that even be on the show? It should be on the kickoff. Jade Cargill versus Naomi, I get it. You've been building it up. Still doesn't deserve to be on TV. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu with I guess there's a title on the line, maybe. That could be an okay match, I guess, but why? Whatever. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Okay, there's been build for that, especially with their little shoot promo and the little fight that they had in the parking garage. So there's something, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. It's just, here's a cruiserweight match for you, basically. Yeah. Jey Uso versus Gunther. One of the shittiest built world title matches that we've seen in some time. It's going to take more than Gunther just beating up Jimmy for me to be like, oh, this is going to be an amazing match. Nobody really cared. So, and then finally, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, main event of night one, which just sounds awful. So, what is there to gain even out of night one? Is for the casual consumer who is maybe thinking about getting Netflix and tuning into this, what would be the incentive to tune into night one?
Honestly, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns in his main event match. I think that really is the main thing to tune into. And then maybe the Tiffany Stratton match. Other than that, nothing else. There really isn't. And we got to talk about something else too, because you'll hear all the gaslighting and all the bullshit. Oh, we're in a boom era. Never been better. Well, let's take a look at the ticket sales right now. So as of April 12th, night 2 is sitting at 1,942 tickets left. Okay. Same thing with night 1. They have 4,253 seats available. Why aren't these sold out if we're in a boom era?
If we see TARP during night 1 and 2, better believe we're going to call it out. We're going to call it out because there's no excuse for the biggest show. This is the trendsetter, WrestleMania, having TARPs, not being sold out. You got to get rid of 1,000 tickets. Can you comp that much in that time? We'll see. I have a feeling that we're going to see some TARPs, though.
Yeah. I think you may see some TARPs, but I definitely do think you're going to see a lot of comping going on. Again, which defeats the whole purpose of this being, a boom era. Because, how can you not sell out WrestleMania in a boom era? And people are going to say, oh, but they're expanding the seating. Okay, well, here's the thing. They should have sold that out, too. Because this stadium has a max capacity of 72,000 people. Right, so let's say, people are making the argument of, oh, well, last year they sold 68,000 per night. And my question is but this stadium has a max capacity, a max expanded capacity of 72,000 people. Why aren't they selling out both nights, even with the ticket prices being high? If the product is so hot and it's so on, because to believe that it's the ticket sales and that's the problem is to believe that Nick Khan, Mark Shapiro, and Ari Emanuel don't know what they're doing. Which is bullshit. We have ample evidence that they know what the fuck they're doing from the business side of things. Triple H has shit the fucking bed when it comes to the booking and creative side of things, as evidenced by the fact that that literally Netflix is getting Raw is getting half the viewership that it's got when it debuted, and in 1 month it lost half its audience. That is not Nick Khan. That is not Ari Emanuel or Mark Shapiro. That is creative.
That's what we've been trying to say to people. I feel like we're like a broken record here. We keep on saying the same shit over and over. But for night 2, Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton versus TBA. They don't even have a finalized opponent for him. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus TBA. So I guess that's Bailey and Lyra Valkyria getting the shot. And then Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. So we have an unfinalized night 2. So this is the big one. This is the one that people are going to actually be paying attention to because it has John Cena's big match on it. So this is one that people are going to actually be paying attention to, and they don't even have it finalized yet. Randy Orton probably is not going to even get a match on this card. That's how bad this is.
Very well could
Awful.
be. All right, at the very most, like Randy Orton could be getting like a like one of those Undertaker segments where he just shows up and the lightning shoots down. I'm not saying they'll have that, but like they'll maybe give like Randy Orton his own segment, maybe have him go out there, cut a promo, or do something. I don't know, but like we can all admit that this is one of the worst builds to a WrestleMania that we've ever seen, and we've seen a lot of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're even talking about like shit like 35, which was an awful WrestleMania to sit through. Anything really that involved Triple H's NXT Black and Gold children coming up and being a part of WrestleMania, that's when WrestleMania started to get real bad. That's when we started to notice the trend, is right after that, right when the NXT Black and Gold call-up started coming up and ruining the main roster. After that, we're like, okay, this is where it's going. It's going to be a complete shit fest after this. And all we're going to see, we called it even back in fucking 2018. We were saying that, dude, Black and Gold darlings, they are going to rule the main roster. And people, they shut us out. They're like, dude, what are you talking about? Look at all of Vince's favorites there. Right. Not anymore. Not anymore. And anybody who Vince actually liked gets shit on. Austin Theory hasn't had a single fucking chance since Triple H officially took over. You might as well fire the guy at this point if you're just going to make him a jobber. But it's like, nah, he gives up on anybody who's a Vince McMahon product. He's all about Triple H products, pushing Triple H talent. And that's what you see right here on this card. Both nights. Is for the most part, a good 90% of it is Triple H talent. If they're not Triple H talent, they're not going to be on the show.
Like, I'm looking at the War Raiders. Do they really need to be on a WrestleMania card? No.
That's what I'm saying. It could have been pre-show. That's the type of shit that should have been on the fucking kickoff. You don't put that on the main show. And even with, like, this Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic, Finn Balor match, that doesn't need to... That could have been on a SmackDown main event. It doesn't have to be on night 2. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul doesn't even really have to be on the show. It's going to be a good match. I'll give it that, but whatever. Priest and McIntyre, they're trying to make like there's all this heat behind it. I mean, honestly, there is really no heat between these two drag queens. Both men wear skirts and makeup. I'm sorry. I can't take it seriously. And then you got Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair opening the show. Because, all these nerds, they got to either have the opening match or the main event or else they riot. So they decided to give them the opening of night 2. I just don't see the point. Rhea Ripley's just going to retain. Right. They just gave the title to Io just so she could go into WrestleMania as the champion and be the nerd favorite. That's the only fucking reason. It's terrible. You look at this whole card, it's just nepotism and IWC dick sucking. Both nights. Especially night 2, though.
Yeah, and we've said for a while, like this, it almost looks like Triple H is out of, like he's giving them like the one last favor before he's out the door. And there's a little bit of a news article that we're reporting on today that, not to give false hope, but may lend some credence to that. So.
Oh yeah, no, trust me, we got some stuff for the news that will make you question what the fuck is going on with TKO and what the hell they're thinking and what their plans are, and we'll elaborate more on it, what people have to say about it. But this card right here, this is the reason why you don't have a sellout on either night, is because Triple H, here we are. It is right now, it is Sunday 4/13 at 5:12 on the Pacific time. And as of now, we do not have a finalized card for really night 2 heading into WrestleMania. So WrestleMania is not finalized 1 week from now. How bad is that?
Well, it's really bad, and the thing too is like you look at the Midcard. That's all the things that Triple H should be booking. It's like if people want to say, that The Rock is ruining WrestleMania, but no. The Rock is mainly concerned with the main show, the main match on the card. If he's concerned with anything, Triple H is responsible for everything else and booking everything else. And the fact that you have 2, not 1, 2 to be announced opponents. Like less than a week, less than 2 weeks out from WrestleMania is crazy.
Now, I did figure out that Lyra and Bayley were getting the shots. It was supposed to be like on that giant tag team shitty SmackDown match that they had. They won the shots. They're going to be getting the shot against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. But still, it's something that we don't even have it finalized 1 week until WrestleMania. That's like really bad. And then even for Randy Orton, the fact that they couldn't take that last SmackDown and at least give some sort of inclination what was going to happen with Kevin Owens and if he was going to get replaced, if Randy was going to have a match or not. The fact that they just left it all out in the air and disrespected a veteran like that, it's bullshit. I don't want to see him get thrown some shitty opponent on the SmackDown right before Mania. Fuck that shit. You should have had something in gear.
Absolutely, and like this is a failure. Like when we say that any mark in the crowd could do a better job, they would. They'd probably care more. Like this looks to me like Triple H just does not care.
Absolutely. Well, like my main beef is not even so much with Night 1. It could be just because Night 1 is just filled with fucking jobbers and mid-carders and really has like no main eventers except for Roman Reigns. But then like you go to Night 2 and this is the one that's supposed to shine. And it's just all mid-card up the, like the only main eventer is John Cena. And then besides that, just mid-card. It's like one thing Triple H loves doing too much, especially in big events like Mania, SummerSlam, whatever. He loves his triple threats. He loves his fatal four ways. He loves these because he can throw people in there and always have a fall guy and never have it be the champion or the people who they want to see as the champion going on the chase. You know, he always has to have the fall guy, and that's the thing with this opening women's match. Gonna have the fall girl. It's probably gonna be Bianca Belair after outside interference from Naomi or some stupid shit. And then Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. There's no fucking reason for all four of these guys to go at it. You pick one and you go at it. I mean, it should have been Braun Breaker and Penta. Since you've already had the matchup before Penta lost, have him come back. I mean, that's the one that actually has history with him. Why is Dominic and Finn Balor being squeezed into here?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, why is it like they're being squeezed in, but you know who's not being factored in? And she's got a good complaint. I disagree with her whining about it on social media, but she's got a good argument. Alexa Bliss complaining about not being on WrestleMania.
Oh, she has every right. I think two women that have every right to complain, because there's this whole movement going around about how women deserve to have spots on WrestleMania. Yes, but certain women. Not all women, because not all women can draw. But what we've always said is that when you have Alexa Bliss, who's perfectly healthy right now, looks great, can cut a great promo still, is ready to go. When you have her, and then you also have Trish Stratus ready to go, look great in the Rumble. Both of these women, great performances in the Royal Rumble. They're ready to go for Mania. Why would you leave them off the card? Why would you not do something with them? You leave in all these untalented jobbers. Like Jade and Naomi is only there to please the IWC. So they can say, yes, we get our black queens at WrestleMania. That's the only fucking reason it's on the card. Tiffany and Charlotte makes sense. It's for the title. Io and Rhea and Bianca, I get it. It's for a belt, whatever. Fuck off, you know? But like Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Bayley and Lyra, that did not need to be on the show. Nobody cares about this just mid-women's tag team matchup on a WrestleMania. Not every title has to be on a WrestleMania. I don't want to see the Speed Championship defended. I don't want to see the Women's Tag Team Championships. I don't want to see any NXT belts. I don't want to see any jobber belts. If you're defending at WrestleMania, it should be for the world titles, your main mid-card belts, and maybe one of the tag team titles, and that's about it.
Well, absolutely.
Don't overload it.
Well, don't overload it, but then also you got to have things other than matches for people to be talking about. What else is there? There's nothing.
There's absolutely nothing, and what this shows overall is that they came into the show poorly planned. Like here Zero was saying is that the plans were already set in stone for Triple H. If these are set in stone, then that tells me even a while back that a lot of the shit that he was coming up with was TBA. He's like, oh, I gotta throw out the dirt sheets. They can't know what I'm up to. Well, this makes you look unprofessional when you drag it out like this and you leave in so many triple threats, fatal four ways, and TBAs. It makes you look like an unprepared fool that doesn't know what he's going into. And it almost feels like we've said before that he got the message that this is your last Mania. We're going to put you in the Hall of Fame. We're going to give you your flowers, you know. So, you know what? Do what you got to do. But don't change the card or else you're fucked. So he's like, all right, you know, this is the plan that I set forth. Here it is. And it's a shitty mailed-in Mania. It really makes you think like he's like, you know what, well, if they're going to do me like this and I have to step down, well, might as well fucking mail it in. Might as well give them this piece of shit card that nobody wants to see.
I mean, I agree. It's because, like, if this is him trying, he's one of the worst bookers to ever live. Now, as bad as Triple H is as a booker, I don't think he's this bad.
No, I mean, because if it were up to him, he would definitely make it more black and gold. You would see like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne on this card. You would see like a stare down with Isla Dragunov or like special guest referee for the Gunther match. They would have a lot more NXT black and gold feel on this show. So yeah, there's definitely some mix of TKO in there. You can tell with like especially Jey Uso getting his shot, and like even, you know, Roman Reigns being in a prominent main event. That's because of TKO and The Rock. You know, they want to make sure that at least the talented people of Samoan heritage get some sort of position on WrestleMania. And I get it. It makes sense. You know, and Cody Rhodes, he's only in the spot he is because of what happened last year. We've covered to exhaustion about Cody Rhodes going up against The Rock, you know, going into business for himself with Triple H. And yeah, you got your match. Great, man. You're champion heading in to WrestleMania against John Cena. You're going to beat John Cena. Great. Wow. And then he's going to go back to babyface. Amazing. What is to gain out of this?
There's nothing to gain out of it. But then, like, I would just point out the fact that, you know, as bad as WrestleMania was last year, it was better than this. So Triple H has demonstrated, he's shown that he can book a better card than what he's booked for this year. So my question is why is it so lackluster? Why is it so lame?
He doesn't have to try. I think that it's to the point where he realizes that, you know what, I'm going to get close enough to a sellout where at least I can comp the rest of them and I can at least claim it's a sellout on paper, at least that night, and I won't be called out on it. You know, I did my job. He knows that at this point he can still mail it in, and he survives through the vehicle that Nick Khan and Vince McMahon have built. He knows that he can survive. How much longer he can survive, that's a big question, because as it's well known that The Rock and Nick Khan are best friends. They've been childhood friends for a long time. So they're homies, and you better believe that if there's a coup to be gained, it's between The Rock and Nick Khan against Triple H and his shitty booking, and them doing things, certain strategies to alienate the IWC. I mean, Nick Khan, we'll show you on the news, even went out to say that we don't base how we book our shows off the internet. You know, we realize that we have to make something that's family friendly, that these fans can bring their kids to. And he said that 50% of the fans right now, they bring their kids to our programs, and we want those kids to be future WWE fans. So it's all a recruiting process. I get it. I understand that. But the IWC, it feels like they're being weeded out, and they're making little incremental steps to do that. This, however, though, is a very IWC-friendly card. This is what they wanted. Triple H gave them what they wanted on a silver platter, and hopefully this is the last card we ever get to see like this.
Well, let's put it this way. Like, we know what kind of wrestlers appeal to children. Like, John Cena appeals to children. Like, you know, colorful, over-the-top, you know, goofy, charismatic, cartoonish characters is what appeals to children. Not Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Like, these are not the kind of wrestlers that will appeal to children. So if Nick Khan is saying he wants to appeal to children, you could expect to see, you could expect to see, reasonably so, a change in the roster, which would lend right into what Zero was saying about, you know, there's going to be a massive turnover. And there's a little bit of a theory that I got going on with one of the news you know, topics that we'll be talking about. I think everybody will be happy if what I think happens.
We'll see. I mean, it's all a theory right now. It's all a rumor, and I know what you're getting at. But yeah, it's all a rumor right now. We'll see how it develops. We'll see where it goes, because a lot of people were talking about it once they saw it drop. So yeah, no, definitely The Rock is cooking up something. We'll see what it is. But yeah, this card, we'll even see if The Rock has any sort of performance on it. If he even shows up and does anything. Because, I mean, maybe he does something for Cody Rhodes and John Cena, but even at this point, how do you liven it up at this point? I mean, John Cena, he's already alluded to going back to being a babyface, it's just being a temporary run. Will Cody Rhodes go heel? Like, what could you do heading out of this Mania to get people talking about it in any sort of aspect? Because the way that it looks like on paper, you don't have much of anything. Brock Lesnar said he's retired. He's not coming back. So that's one name you can rule out. You really have no real big returns. The Rock's not going to come back and return to the ring or do anything like that. He made that pretty much well known at the little Netflix opening. So what do you really have? They're downsizing every major household name that they once had. I mean, when Roman Reigns is going into a WrestleMania without a title, in a fucking random triple threat match, that's bad. And even when Randy Orton, a blue chip or a household name, is not featured on Mania, is not given a replacement in ample time, that's a disgrace. You have to treat every single WrestleMania as your showcase. This is what you showcase of people who can still go, who are big names. And all I see on this is black and gold rejects. It doesn't help that you got KO signed to a 5-year deal and goes out with a year-long neck injury. And Gunther, for whatever reason, he must be a very impressive WWE champion to TKO, but he got signed to a deal with WWE. So you got to question what they're doing at times with who they're signing and re-signing for that matter. You know, these black and gold darlings getting extra long reigns. So I don't know. Very, very frustrating, very weird. We'll see how it all plays out. The big thing that we're going to be able to do is after Mania, when they start doing spring cleaning, we'll be able to gauge where they're going to go in the direction, what they're going to do going forward, creatively, and as far as like even the roster goes. Because of what is projected, that could change the roster dramatically. We'll see what happens.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I do think changes are coming, regardless of what happens. With Cody, it's like really the only way, like if you really, you got to turn him heel. You got to do the double turn. You got to maybe keep Cena heel, but then have Cody turn heel. Like maybe have like Stone Cold come in to do the save and then Cody attacks Stone Cold or something like that. Because you got to attack somebody beloved. Maybe Undertaker could work in that role. Because if Cody attacks like the Undertaker or Stone Cold, he's gonna get heat from the crowd.
Yes, absolutely. No, he really does. So yeah, you just. You look at every match on this card and you're like, what the fuck? Even for AJ Styles and Logan Paul, while we said it would be a dark horse match and a lot of people would, sleep on it and be like, this is a piece of shit. Who cares about these two fucking right-winger assholes going at it? This is a match that I feel is going to really deliver, but even then had no proper setup, no real reason for people to care. It's just going based on match quality. So that right there, it's like, doesn't really have a reason to be on Mania. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, they've been trying to hype up as, don't you want to see this amazing feud between these two wrestlers? No, I don't. Well, because there hasn't been anything viral that has came out of Priest and McIntyre. At the very least, I don't like Punk, but with McIntyre and Punk, they were doing shit that was getting viral, that was trending, that people were caring about. It was different, and I honestly think that if you had to go back to anything, I would do something with Punk and McIntyre. Because at least there's some sort of believable hatred. Yeah, we've seen the picture of them hanging outside by the ring. But to most people, that's a believable hatred. I mean, because McIntyre can't get Punk off his head. He is, like, fixated on him. For obvious reasons. I mean, the guy busted him open hard ways, it's like... Yeah. So, it just a really, really poorly booked card. Cody Rhodes should not be champion heading into this. This was if you had to pick anybody, Roman Reigns should have been your top guy heading into this Mania. Even if you had to do Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns again, whatever, fuck it. As long as Roman Reigns heads in as champion and heads out as champion. That's the only thing that could really be talked about and save the program at this point, is putting any belt, for that matter, top title, back on Reigns, whether it's a SmackDown or Raw. I prefer SmackDown, but whatever.
And to add into that, what could really get people to care about, that Gunther match? Don't put Roman in that match against Gunther for the title.
Yeah.
Like if you really want people to care.
Yeah, well, because at the very least, it's one of those situations where Roman Reigns could talk to Jay and be like, you know what, as the tribal chief, I'm going to pull the tribal favor. I want this match. Tell you what, after I beat him, you get first shot. And then Jay's like, you know what, I don't like it, but Uranus, Yeah. And that right there, we obviously know that Roman Reigns would beat Gunther, dethrone him easily. And then Jay versus Roman would be the next up. It would be something that, I think a lot of people would like to see Roman and Jay, because we already know Roman's got that dirty side to him, so I'm sure he could go back to being bad dog Roman or whatever, heel tribal chief Roman, whatever, I'm sure it could work.
Oh, yeah,
Seth Rollins does not deserve to be on the show. Why would you put him on the show?
Because he's a Triple H guy, been loyal, and you got to feature him somehow, and I agree, like, why he doesn't need to be there. You don't need him for anything. You really don't. Like, do you really need him to be in that match against CM Punk? No.
I did not know, absolutely. I did not know that this guy was signed till 2027. They're going to keep him until he retires, man. This is going to be one of those guys that even after he retires, I can tell you for a fact what he's going to be doing is he's going to be a producer or an agent. He's going to be working with WWE for a while. Even Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has flat out said that once I retire within 5 to 10 years, I want to be working with WWE in some sort of capacity, whether that's booking, producing, whatever. He's already made it well known. He wants to actually book NXT, so you're going to have to compete with CM Punk for that one. But yeah, you already have people lining up to want to take Shawn Michaels' spot. And a lot of them are these mark-ass wrestlers who we can't stand. So the future ain't bright. I mean, I think at least with Punk, he'll bring in hot chicks. That's a good thing. But other than that, it's like you put Rollins in charge of NXT, you're doomed. You know, it's the future is not bright in that aspect. But this right here, I'm hoping, is the last shittily booked WrestleMania that we have to sit through, because oh my God, for this to be the card 1 week before Mania, I've never seen a clusterfuck this bad. It is undersold greatly by the IWC. Even Dave Meltzer. It is undersold. Even JD. Undersold how badly, poorly structured and booked this show is on both nights, to the fact that you don't have a sellout on either night. How?
No. And like we beat like a drum. It's like, again, you know, people like Glenn Gilberti will say, but we're in a boom era. Are we really in a boom era? If we were in a boom era, WrestleMania would have been sold. Like, out of any show in the year for WWE to not be sold out, this is the worst one. You want this show to sell out more than any other.
Absolutely. No, it's one of those things where it's like, this is the show where you really get people back on board, especially with a brand new Netflix deal. You think right now, we got to get those people. We got to hook them on Netflix. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it with Mania. This is going to be the big live streaming event that gets people hooked on Raw and Netflix, gets them tuning in, gets them viewing all across the world, not just here in America. This should be the lure, the bait. And when people look at this bait and they actually take a look at the card, I'm sure there's a couple people that will tune in here and there. I mean, but then again, you put night 2 on Easter? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that is... That not only is it blasphemy, I mean, but it's disrespectful. It's just blatantly disrespectful to all those people who, could be doing something better with their Easter, than watching wrestling and, spending time with family. We'll be there for you guys. Trust me, we had to rearrange family plans, but we'll be there for you night 2. But it's just, that's so frustrating that they do that type of shit. That you couldn't plan it any other way. That you couldn't do a Friday and a Saturday. You had to do Saturday and Sunday, You can break tradition by one night. You're not going to hurt things.
Well, the funny thing too is, like, Easter is known for like the death and resurrection of Christ, right?
Absolutely.
Interesting. I wonder if that ties in any way to, one of the main people that are involved with WWE. Not saying they're going to die. I'm just saying that, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll be in another company. Maybe they won't be a booker anymore. Who knows?
I mean, it's heavily implied. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's I want to say at the best, be as optimistic as you can going forward, because that's what you really need to be. You can't look at all the things going on around you and look at it from a situation where, wrestling is doomed. I see a lot of brightness on the horizon, and I think that in good time we will get to a good part in pro wrestling. It's just going to take time. We got to weed out the Triple H regime. We got to weed out all these shitty Triple H wrestlers. That's what it really comes down to. And it's going to take time, man. You can't just rip off the Band-Aid. You got to slowly peel it off. I hate to say it. So
No. It's unfortunate. It's sad, but true.
Absolutely. Patty was saying TWRP equals the best live stream in the IWC. Much love, Patty. Appreciate that. King Richard was saying, it's bad when you look at WrestleMania card and your thoughts are either who cares, why. Absolutely, King. Spot on. And that's the big problem, too, with WrestleMania, is that this is the event, more than any event that WWE puts on all year, that TKO should be taking the wheel from Triple H and being like, hey, we got to get fans back. This is what we're going to do. Fuck your black and gold favorites. We're actually going to book something that people want to see. We're booking names. Especially the fact you had Trish and you had Alexa Bliss. You put them on a card, fuck, against each other. People would tune in. That in itself is a marquee match.
It really is. And to kind of like throw a little bit of kindling on that hope fire, when Nick Khan is saying that he doesn't care about he's basically saying he doesn't care about what social media says. That could be a sign that they're about to piss off the Smarks big time.
Especially with the New Japan deal. If there is one. If there is one. Just saying.
I got a theory with that, and
Yeah.
let's just put it this way. It may put a lot of the changes that they want to make into fast forward.
It could very well do that. I mean, definitely some food for thought. But yeah, I absolutely agree with King Richard here. It's definitely a who gives a fuck card. Catman was wondering a different type of question. Favorite Isham album? I'm going to probably have to go with Closed Casket. That's the one that really got my attention and really made me a hardcore fan. And he got away from the goofier shit as he got older. So yeah, I mean, that's the one where I thought he had a lot of creative growth. So how about you, JC?
No, I agree.
Okay. King Richard said, this also shows one major project with 2 night pay-per-views. Since their creative is limited, they just go through turds. They throw turds at the wall covered in glitter. It's some AEW shit right there. And they even said that back in the day with the AEW creative meetings. Oh, yeah, it's just Tony and the wrestlers hanging out. We just throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. I think they literally throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. I think that's how it is.
There's my glittery turds over there, and that one is supposed to be Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea.
And like, you could just totally imagine Triple H just pointing to like a board covered with glittery shit on it. He's like,
and that's what that means.
He's deciphering it, damn it. But yeah, that's the big problem with these 2 night pay-per-views is that they're stretched so thin. And we thought, honestly, he was going to go 5 matches a card. Like, we honestly thought that, but now he's pushing for 14 to 15. We'll see if he actually delivers on that, but that's what he's pushing for 2 nights is 14 to 15 matches. So, we'll see, man. I don't think he can handle it. Truth was saying, wrestling can't get any worse. Want to make it bad? I can make it worse. And just, like, there's times, too, I'll just be thinking to myself throughout the day, wow, this fucker really has kamikaze mission WWE. He has taken that kamikaze plane and slammed it into a mountain. Like, he doesn't fucking care. This is a really, really just reckless asshole when it comes to what he was handed. And I think Nick Khan sees that. I think that The Rock sees that. I think that the TKO board sees that. I think they all see what he's doing, and they don't like it.
The one thing they see more than anything, and it's the money. And it's the fact that, you know, and this article was written yesterday that night 1 of WrestleMania still has over 4,000 tickets left. Oof. in a boom era.
Not good at all, man. No. Not good at all. This is the type of thing where you got to stop believing the lies, because that's the one thing that Triple H is trying to do more than anything is he's trying to rewrite history of pro wrestling and basically make it seem that ever since he took control, this is the greatest time for pro wrestling ever. He is trying to do everything he can to rewrite history, to Mandela affect everything in WWE that he can. It's so frustrating seeing what he's doing, man. And not too many are calling him out on his bullshit. You know, we always will. That's what we're here for, you know. But absolutely. Yeah. So what was it? King Richard was saying, knowing WWE, if you don't like this card, don't worry. You'll see these matches on Raw, SmackDown in the next 2 pay-per-views. Don't. You'll love it. Nose noises. Exactly. Well, that's the thing, too, is like what we were saying. It's all mid-card shit. All of that shit that we just read out for night 1 and night 2 could have easily been Raw and SmackDown matches, main events, even, you know. I could definitely see, like, Roman versus Seth versus CM Punk for Madison Square Garden Raw. You know, just you have to go big for it. You know, I could see something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and the thing, too, is, like, they have, like, because we were talking earlier about, like, them, you know, Nick Khan wanting to cater more to a kid audience. You've got cartoonish characters like Alexa Bliss's, you know, possessed gimmick, and you got the fucking Wyatt Six. You got a lot of cartoonish characters on your show that you could be booking, and I mean, they got the characters there to do it. It boggles my mind that Alexa Bliss is just not being featured at all in the show. That's crazy to me. I mean, and her tweet made it look like it's not like a personal issue with her. It's just creative's got nothing for her.
Oh, it comes across as one of those things that she was told ahead of time, look, we're not doing anything for the Wyatt Six since Bo is still hurt. We're not going to be doing anything for the Wyatt Six, so you could just sit at home, enjoy Mania from home. Great for you, right?
Have her go out there and cut a promo. Let her know that she's setting her sights on the Wyatt Six. Like, yeah. It's not that difficult.
Well, right there, you set up something where at least she carries on the tradition. She can work the mic just as good as Bo can, if not better. Yep. At least you have somebody who puts them back on TV and does something with them. And at least at least if she comes back with Wyatt Six, she has the muscle. She can go against any of these top-level females and not just look like a complete supernatural goofball. She actually has dudes with hammers and some spooky, crazy, goofy chick to fucking help her beat up other chicks and, you know, even the odds, so to speak, you know? So I think it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, now she's got her muscle. It makes sense for her to be a top heel contender in the women's division.
Well, and there was the other characters too from like the Wyatt Firefly Funhouse that she could have, like, because like Bo's got his Wyatt Six. Well, I think there are other characters that she could incorporate into her thing. So it's like they can do that, and they can use WrestleMania to set that up, to get people talking, to get people interested in WrestleMania. If they had done like Alexa Bliss as an announcement at WrestleMania, I think you could probably sell more tickets.
You probably could. It's just the thing about it is that they don't want to. Either they want to swerve the journalists, or they want to just mail it the fuck in. Because they haven't given you anything to be excited about. They might have a few quote-unquote surprises, but even then, in the long run, they're going to be like nothing burgers. Like, I mean, look what they did with that John Cena segment. Went nowhere with it. And that's why it's... Wrestling now is built on moments. It's not built on momentum. And that's the big problem. Is when it's built on moments, you see these fleeting glimpses of glory with nothing to really capitalize off of it because you know who's in creative. You know who's driving the car. So once you know that, it's hard to fucking be happy about anything you can see coming up in pro wrestling. You have to know Triple H is out of the game.
Absolutely, and like Exhibit A to all that is Cody Rhodes' title win.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got their moment at WrestleMania, and then what? It led to nothing.
Sadly, King Richard was saying, I do commend Noseman for not giving Punk the real main event spot, if we're being honest. Yes, I know it's spiteful, but it makes me laugh. Well, and it's just one of those things where, yeah, he didn't give in, because I'm sure deep down Triple H realizes that Punk's one of those guys that he's injury prone. And he probably didn't trust him heading into Mania, because Punk's like, you know, I can do it. Give me the fucking ball. I'll be your quarterback. I can be Cody. And Triple H was just thinking to himself, look how many times this guy has got injured. There's a reason why they call him Fragile Phil. Mm-hmm. So he comes back from injury, you're supposed to automatically trust that, oh, he's doing the TRT, he's getting some size on him, yeah, he's back to prime level Punk, he's not getting hurt, look, he did the European tour, he's good to go. How can you trust that? That's why I think the triple threat match, this was all he could really do for Punk in a situation like this, because if he gets hurt, you're fucked out of a WrestleMania main event. At least at this spot, Punk gets hurt, you still got Rollins versus Reigns in some sort of heat because they were both in the Shield. Something.
That's a good point. That honestly is a good point, that triple threat can really, you know, mask and protect CM Punk in that match. And the other thing I got to point out too is, like, you know, having CM Punk do this European tour is just going to be more wear and tear on his body.
Absolutely. And he, you know, he's a glutton for punishment, always has been. He's told about that in the Colt Cabana interview. He loves doing this shit. He loves showing the company that I'll do anything. I'll sacrifice my body. I will do anything for WWE. Just give me the ball. But they won't. Sorry. So the Real Goose said, do you guys think WWE butchered heel Cena? Absolutely. And the real reason why they butchered heel Cena is because they couldn't have anything to capitalize on the momentum after that good segment. They had a great segment that I commended. My brother commended how great it was when Brian Gewirtz set that up with The Rock and got that on TV with John Cena turning on Cody Rhodes. It was good. It was nowhere near what Hulk Hogan turning on Macho Man, I believe, at Bash and the Beast. It was nowhere near that good. But still, it was cool, you know. It was, for nowadays, for modern days, it was very good. And that's the whole thing, is we're not assholes. If they try, at the very least, we'll commend them. We'll give them props. Yeah. And that's what they did. They tried for that segment. So we gave them props. We're like, you know what? You guys did good. But the thing about it is they couldn't even have Cena show up on Raw or SmackDown the next week. We had to wait till Raw in London, which was a couple weeks later, for John Cena to show up and do a live promo battle against Cody Rhodes. So a couple weeks go by, you have nothing to pass momentum. You don't even have John Cena do like a live via satellite on Raw or SmackDown. Nothing of that account whatsoever. You just have, we're just going to show clips until John Cena shows up. Here's what happened at Mania. We didn't have any part in this, but here it is again and again and again. And they dragged that shit out for a month. So yeah, Triple H is a terrible booker. He doesn't know how to take momentum and capitalize it. He doesn't know how to take a ball and run with it. He fumbles it every fucking time. This is what happens when gold is even handed to him for free. He takes full credit for it. Like in this situation, this is what happens. He fucks it up because he's a grand fuck up. That's what he's good at.
It's not the kind of, like with the main roster, it's not the kind of booking that he likes. It's Triple H sees wrestling as a sport. From all the booking that we've seen, I can confidently say that he looks at wrestling like it should be treated like a sport. Whereas with WWE main roster, it's still very soap opera-ish. You got to have promos, you got to have angles, you got to have storylines, you got to have characters, all this. And I just don't think Triple H cares about any of that. And I think that Triple H is at a point now where it's like, fuck it. What's the point? Why even care? And I just feel like something can happen that's positive for him and for the YWC that TKO may do. And, hopefully they do it. So
we'll see, man. And Bad Sport even said, what if... what's going on is Cody and Noseman being fired together on Easter. I don't know. I think that they're going to be with the company for a little bit. I think that you just don't force out people like Cody Rhodes and Triple H. Triple H, if he steps aside, it's going to be by, him not wanting to do it. And they say, basically, yeah, you got to step aside. But Cody, I think he's going to be with WWE for a little bit. I don't want that to be the case, but you don't build up somebody that much and then just fire him. That's like throwing bait in the water, So I don't know. I think they're going to keep him for a little bit.
Yeah. And the other thing too, just real quick, is for anybody who's saying that, it's on Easter, that's why the ticket sales are bad. I'm like, nah. WWE has had very strong ticket sales during holidays before. They've sold out the fucking day one shows. They've done literally on fucking New Year's Day. So no, that's not a good excuse. It's because the build has been the most lackluster one that they've ever had.
Well, and they'll always come up with excuses. I mean, that's the whole thing, too. Especially if you're doing on Easter, why wouldn't you pack the fuck out of it? Why wouldn't you bring the biggest guns you could? Like, they should have had Goldberg coming back for a match. Fuck what's going on with Brock, have Brock come back for a match. You should have, really packed the fuck out of this card and brought it with everybody that's physically able that you possibly can. And I think they really fucked that up. I mean, even if they were to say, Miro makes a comeback or something. Miro dresses his time in AEW or some shit. I don't know. But, just hype up who's going to be showing up. Hype up who's going to be on the card. Make bigger main events. They did not try at all. And it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating what we had to sit through, man.
The easiest way to fix all this is to have, Randy Orton on SmackDown, the one right before WrestleMania, have Brock come out and say that he's going to be the mystery opponent.
Hype it up. I mean, you have a little bit of time left, but even then, it's like, I just feel like they lost the window. If you're not hyping this shit up for at least 2 to 3 months ahead of time, what the fuck is the problem? I mean, because even when you look at it, you had Jey Uso and Charlotte win the Royal Rumble. Neither of them are main eventing either night 1 or night 2, so what's the point? Whatever, whatever. So Darth was saying, impression. Bullseye captures Punk and H and plans to dismember them in front of the audience with a hatchet. Okay.
Damn. All right, cool.
All right. I got both of you. Yeah, you didn't think I could have it happen, but yeah, Bullsey's team went and got you. Take off the mask, guys.
The light, it's so bright. God. Where the fuck are we? Hey, Paul, is that you?
Oh, I think that is. Look, it's Noseman. Hey, cat got your tongue? Is that because you see a spotlight on your ass? Is that because you know you're ready to die live on camera on Bullsey's murder show?
No, but I had the power. You can't do it. No, please don't. No, Punk, save me. Somebody help. I'm scared.
I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of either of your noses, especially you, Triple H, so off goes your banana nose. Whoosh!
My nose!
Oh, and Punk, I think you look real suave there.
I dare you. You're not gonna get my nose.
Put his boomerang nose in the jar there with formaldehyde. Yeah. Good. All right. Now that you're noseless, you will listen to what I have to say, you two losers. You have ruined WWE, and for this I shall cut off your body parts in front of this live audience. So you know what now? Since you're fragile, Phil, I'm going to cut off those arms of yours so you can't jack off again. Whoosh, whoosh. And Triple H, since you can't book shitty wrestling anymore, your arms are going off too. Whoosh, whoosh.
I can't jerk off to wrestling anymore. Yeah.
No. And last but not least, I have the firing squad to finish it up. Go ahead and take off their peepees.
Sure. Ah, he hit me in the nuts. I've exploded my nuts. Ah.
Little balls are gone.
All right, and time to end this. I'm going to cut both of the throats.
Fucker. I fucking hate you, balls. You piece of shit.
DJ said Goldberg versus heel Braun. I'm down.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's Braun doing a quick 2-minute squash on him, I'm down. Make it happen. Sure, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
down
it.
for it. Yeah. Sure.
At least it's something that you can build upon, you know? That's the real passing the torch. If Goldberg's going to retire, that's the way to do it right there. So,
If like Braun take him out of and like retire him, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, DB for Life was saying, impression, TKO hires TWRP to run WWE. TKO tells them, I don't care what's up, guys. Do hire and fire whoever you want. Just make us money and ratings. Go.
All right, guys. I know this is a controversial decision, but I'm discussing with The Rock. You know, he's a big fan of TWRP, and he's decided to bring these guys in. So, everybody, TKO group, welcome. This is Technical Work Rate Productions.
Yay!
Hey.
Hey, how come you don't sound excited to see us?
Seriously. We're here to save your guys' asses, and all we get is,
I can't believe you brought these guys in. They're such fucking assholes. They're such judgmental pieces of fucking shit. I fucking hate you too. You deserve to fucking get thrown out of a window by Brock Lesnar, you assholes.
Ari, you see the fucking fat, psychotic SJW morons that Triple H's been hiring onto the creative team? That's a part of the problem right there.
It's not just the men. Hi, my name is Lilith. I'm a she, her, and, or him, her. Well, I just want to make it well known that, they are very transphobic and against the LGBTQ community, and we cannot have people like this on, representing TKO, representing WWE. You have to get them out of the building right now. In fact, tase them right now. Fucking tase them!
Psycho,
no.
see this shit? See this shit?
It's
We got this antler-wearing freak right here who disagrees with this. So, Ari, you know what? Since you fools don't know yet, Ari, let them know.
Okay, yeah. They can hire and fire whoever they want.
So you know what that means? That means your ass is out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Go right on Reddit, you bitch.
To quote a great man, you're fired.
Oh, fuck you. I'm gonna put this on my Reddit blog, you asshole.
Yeah, go ahead. Fuck you.
Ooh.
Fuck you. All right, so here's the deal for everybody that's left. We're here to make y'all money. We're here to make WWE into a bigger, more popular entity. We're here to bring it to a new realm, to save it. So here's what we're going to do. So first off, Cody Rhodes, out the fucking door, going back to AEW. Anybody who was a part of AEW, going back to AEW. Anybody who was a part of NXT Black and Gold, you're fucking fired. Gone. Out the door. Gone. We might keep like 5 of you, but the rest, gone. And PC, we're bringing that back, and we're going to start bringing up NIL talents. Really young prospects we could form from the ground up. Not these fucking stupid indie wrestlers that already have preset egos. Out the fucking door. I'm sorry, Kevin Owens signed a 5-year contract. Cut him. Out the fucking door. We'll pay him out. I don't care if I got to pay him fucking $2 million. Out the fucking door. Sami Zayn, out the fucking door. Gunther signed a new contract. Out the fucking door. JC, go.
I agree, man. I agree with all that. You know, we got to really focus on characters, charisma, and promos, but we also got to focus on hot chicks because that's what brought in all the you know the big audience back. That's what brought a lot of people in. Millions of people, millions of men out there want to see hot chicks on TV, and so we're going to give them that. So yeah, we're going to look for hot chicks in NAL, but we're also going to be recruiting a lot of strippers and other hot chicks. We're going to teach them how to wrestle. We're going to bring them in. We're going to get them eyeballs on the TV. We're going to get them to pay to go see it. And we're going to create another Attitude Era. That's what we're going to do.
Damn straight. That's what we got planned. Any issues with that, you can walk the fuck out right now. Otherwise, if you're on board and willing to make some money, give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah! That's right. We're here to save y'all. So Darth was saying impression. I get off charge free as H and Punk are in a million pieces crying their eyes out. I get off charge free as H and Punk are in a million pieces crying their eyes out. Okay. We'll make it work. Okay.
So I guess they're still alive.
I guess so, yeah. Your officer, I understand that people called this in as I was killing them, but as you can see, they're still alive.
Help! Help, you fucking asshole! Somebody put my fucking mouth back on my body. It's fucking cut me in pieces. Ah!
I'm in a million pieces. Somebody put me together. I'm like an ugly puzzle. Somebody help.
So the most you can get me on is assault and battery. But even then, I got a really good lawyer, so good luck on that. The way I look at it, they practically just willed themselves into the hatchet. I didn't really have to do anything. It was the hatchet's fault, to be quite honest. So, yeah, hey, you guys can hate on it all you want, but if turtles can walk around stabbing and shanking people, hatchets can have a mind of their own, okay? So, fuck off. I'm good.
But sir, as a law enforcement officer, I have to agree with you. You're completely off scot-free.
Cool. All right. That's what I thought. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for this Triple H's Bad Booker. Join us here in a little bit for some news. NC.
JC and.
Peace out.